This report brought to you by the Richmond Club, where investors and high-growth companies meet.
Canada's top think tank, the Fraser Institute, has dubbed Alaska the 5th largest mining district in the world. And that's where we find the Ambler Copper District, owned by Trilogy Metals. We sat down with the company's CEO to learn more. We're going to launch straight into our conversation. Let's begin with a 30-second overview of Trilogy.
So Trilogy Metals is developing a mining district in Alaska called the Ambler Mining District. And what's special about this district is it's characteristic of really high-grade deposits. Our Arctic project is 5% copper equivalent, which is 10 times the average grade being mined today in an open pit mining scenario, and ours is an open pit mine as well. Our second project, which is about 20 miles away, is called Bornite, and it's a 1% open pit, so twice the grade, and 3% underground. So these are just exceptionally good quality deposits. And they're just two deposits in a 100-kilometer long belt of rocks that are very prolific, that have a lot of exploration left to do, but we're focused on advancing these two production decisions in the next few years.
And we're speaking, of course, to investors today. Investors often want to know, who's at the helm of the company that I'm considering? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
So my background, I'm an exploration geologist. I grew up in Alaska, so I know this place very well. I know all the people there well. I understand how they think and what their concerns are when it comes to mining. I've been in the business for a long time. I won't shed how many years that is, but it's a long time. I used to be vice president of exploration for a company called Placer Dome, which was one of the larger Canadian companies that got caught up in the whole amalgamation space. So we've got a lot of experience. Our team has worked together for a lot of years. We developed Nova Gold. I was the founder of Nova Gold. We found the Donlin Project, Donlin Gold Project, which is a 40 million ounce gold deposit. I'm still on the board there. We've been working on the permitting of that project for the last 5 years. So we understand the business from sort of grassroots all the way through production, permitting, and mine closure. So we've got a good skilled team.
And when you're at this stage, experience really matters, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, and it brings a lot of confidence, I think, to investors that you've sort of been there, done that, and
right.
And also know how to access capital markets. And that's something we've been, I think, very fortunate in having having worked with a good group of shareholders over a period of time, and that those shareholders introduce you to other investors, and it's just that trickle-on effect. And when you make people money, then they tend to like you.
Right, exactly. And of course, the million-dollar question is, why should investors be looking at this stock right now? If you can provide us with 3 reasons.
Yeah, I think the real compelling reason is we've developed at Arctic, which is to be the first mine that we'll be developing. Based on the pre-feasibility study, we have a $1.4 billion net present value. We're trading at about 20% of that right now. We had a good valuation, but it's still early days, and there's a lot of value to add. Typically, companies, development stage companies, would trade at a 0.6, 0.7 times their net asset value. Now, we also have the Bornite project, which we haven't put a market value to that. We haven't put a value to the market yet because it's still exploration. So we do plan to do that later this year, and so that'll be another value add that we bring to the investors. We're continuing to explore, so we're continuing to add copper and cobalt and zinc and gold and silver to our portfolio. As we continue with the drill bit, the best way to find resources is to keep drilling. So we're continuing to do that. We have an $18 million program this year. That in itself will generate a lot of news. It's broken down into sort of 3 pieces. At the more advanced Arctic project, we'll complete a feasibility study. That's a $7 million program. That'll be completed by February of next year, 2020.
Okay.
2020. We have a $9.2 million program at Bornite, which will continue to expand the existing resource there. And as I said, we'll put out a preliminary economic assessment, which will be sort of the first level of engineering work to demonstrate the value that this project has to the market. And then we have a grassroots exploration program evaluating the 100-kilometer long district that we control here. So we'll plan to be doing new drilling on new targets that will demonstrate that not only do we have these 2 exciting projects, but there are many more to come.
So 2019 is going to be a busy year for you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it'll be a very busy year. Spending $18 million takes a lot of effort,
Right.
and so we've got a great camp and a great crew of people to execute the program. We have a big partnership with a company called South 32. We have our business arrangement with South 32. They're a company similar size to Teck. They're Australian. They were spun out of BHP about 3-4 years ago. Our business arrangement with them was an option, 3-year option. That option ends this year. They have to make a decision to invest $150 million, write a check for $150 million and form a joint venture company on a 50-50 basis. So that is a big catalyst event. We've also been, with our partnership with the state of Alaska, permitting a road access into the area. Obviously, that's an important piece of the overall infrastructure to develop this mine in this district.
Yeah.
And we have alignment between the federal government and the state government. They've signed an MOU with the expectation of receiving the permits by the end of the year to build the road. So a lot of big catalysts happening this year. It didn't just happen this year. We've been working on this obviously for the last 5 or 6 years, but a lot of things are coming together, and so I think this is going to be a pretty exciting year for the company and for investors.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please let us know. You've been watching the Richmond Club Report. If you've just come across this channel, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm sure you'll find a lot of interesting and lucrative investment and trading ideas around here. We'll see you again soon on the next video. Cheers, guys. Have an amazing and profitable day.